just heaven sent.
Another politician has just taken center stage. He tells all the people that he loves them so. He comes on like a sage, says with him they should engage. A false prophet selling endless empty prose.
He stepped over dead bodies on his climb to the top. The highest post was his aspiration. But he forgot to read the fine print in the contract that he signed, which caused a U-turn to his final destination. He continued on his pathway of destruction and decay, never thinking that his wicked life would end. He never did take stock that the devil is not mocked, and all those broken fences will not mend.
Another politician has just taken center stage. He tells all the people that he loves them so. He comes on like a sage, says with him they should engage. A false prophet selling endless empty prose. He feels no lament for the lives that he spent. A jackal who thinks he can't be touched. But there will come a day when the devil's birds of prey paint their canvas with his lost soul's carrion brush.
He was with his favorite call girl and his black limousine, doing lines of coke and drinking cold champagne.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, and thank you.
You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
Hey, that is me. We're talking about cattle mutilations now, both with, well, cattle and humans and all that stuff with Rob. Hey, Rob, you still there?
Yep, I sure am.
That's the scary part because, you know, I have gotten so many...
Still here?
Yeah, I'm here. We're both here. James, are you still here?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we're all here. But you know what scares me is these mutilations, not just with cattle, with human. There's been a lot of reports through the years of humans being mutilated, both from Brazil, Argentina, and, you know, the rainforest, and all kinds of different places. And it's scary. Now, if these creatures, or aliens, or whatever they are, if they're here to serve man, I don't understand why they have to sit here and do these mutilations, both human and cattle. I mean, I would think at a certain point, unless it's something they need from these animals and humans, that, you know, they don't mind sacrificing their lives to get what they need. But I think there's some other motive on it, other than just trying to, you know, see what makes a cow, you know, moo.
Well, it seems it's got to be more than that because the parts that they're excising are repetitive. And, you know, when you have these mutilations, they're taking the same parts, and they did this from a human being. What is the purpose? What do they need from these particular organs and parts of the animals and humans, and why are they doing that? Another question is, why are they doing what they're doing to the abductees that they return to us? Why the implants? I mean, there's been a lot of theories. One of mine is that they're not so much tracking devices as that they are, they seem to interact with the nervous tissue of the human body, and actually nerves grow in and attach to these implants. So it sounds to me like they're actually technically connecting into our nervous system. What is that for? Are these people meant to be sleepers? Can they be activated at some point, and are they like for want of a better term, a zombie army that can be created on demand that would do their bidding? Are they sleeper cells, basically meant to lie low until such time as they're triggered? So what is the purpose of all this? This is what we have to ask ourselves, but we do know this. They don't seem to give a damn, if you'll excuse the word, about human beings or our animals. They don't seem to have any concept of human rights. And if they're an advanced species, why wouldn't they have this? We have it. We've developed it over the centuries, slowly but surely, despite a lot of slipbacks. Why would a more advanced race than us have the same thing? But they don't seem to. Again, it always comes back to the same thing. They're either amoral, meaning they have no morals at all, no concept of them, or they're just immoral and don't care. Or they just don't care about us. We are nothing to them other than to serve some purpose, in which case we have to take care of ourselves because nobody else will. They're not.
You know, I said the same thing what you just said, like sleeper cells. You know, the Soviet Union, you know, that's Russia, back a few years ago, they had all these people that they were brainwashed, and they were carrying at their house. They had like suitcase bombs. They had all these instructions in case something happened. They were going to go and destroy certain parts of the country. And the thing is that they didn't even realize it till they got a phone call or it was a certain word said to them, and then they remembered. Again, with these people being implanted, there's some reason behind it. And, you know, again, yeah, they implant people all ages, and then a lot of them die off, you know, because they get old. But again, I think it's something that they're doing to control the person or society. And that's the part it really makes me wonder what is going on, because I would think that at this point they wouldn't need to do it anymore. But think of this. Don't we kill deer? Don't we kill every living animal? And don't we find somebody in this country or this world will eat whatever they kill? You know, from insects to elk or a bear, you name it. They'll eat it. And they don't think anything other than it's food. These aliens might be so far advanced, they look at us as no more the same way as we look at an ant crawling on the ground and you're walking to your car and you accidentally step on it. I mean, you're not going to feel bad.
No, well, actually, I kind of do.
Well, maybe you do, but the average person...
I never did as a kid. I'm afraid I was one of those rotten little boys that used to have a magnifying glass and didn't mind focusing on ants running across the ground. And now I think back to that and think how cruel and obnoxious a human being I was then. But they say children are cruel. Well, it's true, they are. But as you become more advanced, one would think you'd have a higher degree of ethics and morals. Compare our ethics and morals of today, as bad as the world is, compared to the ethics and morals of, say, the Roman Empire, you know, and or the Middle Ages, or ancient Greece, you know, when they prized beauty so much that when someone was dying, they'd place a handkerchief over their face so they wouldn't see the death contortions. I mean, it was all about the living. To heck with the people who were dying. But we have grown slowly but surely since then. And granted, it's hardly universal yet, but one would think if you were in a truly advanced species, you would have achieved that. Otherwise, can you call yourself advanced?
Well, maybe they achieved it and then went past it to the point where they don't look at it anymore. Like, they don't look at us as anything more than we look at cattle. That's the scary part.
I don't buy that, because cattle don't run around making skyscrapers and building boats and ships and trains and planes and automobiles. We do. There is no doubt to any species in the universe, when they look at us, that we're more than just cattle. We are not just hopefully, a flock of sheep or cattle to be eaten or used, because we obviously have sentience, we obviously have consciousness, we obviously are doing things that are in some ways maybe rivaling even what they're doing now. We're getting awfully close to warp drive amazingly quickly. So it just, one scientist just said that today. He said he's amazed at the speed. He said, of course, we don't have an actual physical working model, but before you can have that, you have to have a theory behind it that will work and hold up, and we are rapidly getting to that point, at least. So you cannot, if I saw ants building skyscrapers and driving around in little tiny cars and taking train rides to other anthills, I would suspect that they were intelligent, and I would avoid killing them.
Yeah, but we don't know what their thoughts are. That's the thing. Well, not everybody grew up watching Donna Reed show and Leave It to Beaver, you know. I feel maybe they look at us as nothing more than a parasite. That could be a possibility too, that a parasite can build buildings and fly airplanes. Maybe they look at us as annoying creatures, you know, that what really gets me is when I get a guest on my show that says, "Oh, You know, I've been contacted by this high-plane whatever, alien that has 25 million cloaked spaceships circulating Earth to protect Earth. Well, you know what? If these aliens cared about us, you know what? We wouldn't be in the shape this world is in right now. They would have stepped up and said, hey, you guys need help. Let us help you. That's not happening.
And basically, what evidence do we have of any amount at all that they are in any way helping us? I mean, again, I think we discussed this before, but I see virtually zilch when it comes to them having helped us in any way, and yet I can throw hundreds, thousands of cases of injuries, damage, and deaths due to UFO encounters, abductions, tortures, people being mutilated, cattle being mutilated, property being damaged. Where's the flip side? Where are our space brothers helping us?
They're not.
Where are they stopping a nuclear war? Where are they stopping a major disaster in some city? They don't seem to be lifting a finger. So even if they are benevolent, they're certainly non-interfering. And if they're non-interfering, they're letting the other types of extraterrestrials interfere to our harm. So what good are they? I mean, yes, we have a non-interference pact. We don't want to interfere in your culture. But you're letting every other species out there interfere with us and to our detriment. And apparently it's been going on for centuries. This is not a new phenomenon. Disappearances of people date back to the Roman Empire and the times of ancient Greece.
Oh, yeah.
So this is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time. What are they doing? Genetic manipulation, using us as fodder. Are we a food source?
Could be.
It wouldn't seem that we're a food source, but it does seem that they're getting something from us that they need, because this has been a long-term and ongoing. They have been interfering in our culture and civilizations for millennia at the very least. So I don't see how anyone can say that they have a non-interference pact going on.
You know, I sometimes look at this. Look what's happening. How long is it going to be before Antarctica is gone? The sea level is going to come up and Florida is going to be gone. Part of the East Coast is going to be gone. We have the radiation from Japan. They're going to start dumping it in the Pacific Ocean because they have no place for billions and billions of gallons of radiated water. It's all going to go into the ocean. They're saying the ocean is going to die in about 20 to 30 years. That is scary. Now, maybe... Well,
you got to be careful with that, because I remember in the 70s, everyone talking about killer bees. There were even movies about it where it was coming to America and they were going to kill people. Have you heard much about killer bees in the last 20 years?
No.
I sure as heck have.
But I heard about these killer wasps.
Big threat from the 70s of killer bees. It's never materialized.
They got the killer wasp, though, that is materializing, and that is really scary. Check that out.
Well, I'm not. We don't have ecological disasters, we do. But I am saying that you can't take everything. First of all, it isn't billions of gallons of water. It's nowhere near that much. It is a lot of water. And I'm not going to try to make it less than what it is. But secondly, we have set off hydrogen bombs in the Pacific and the Bikini Atolls. That's where the term bikini came from for women's swimsuits. We have set off atomic blasts on surface areas of our country. Russia has and everyone else. And we haven't seen the planet die off this way. The planet's more resilient than people think. So when we come to any of these things, we have to research them and check them out thoroughly. Is Fukushima a very negative, bad thing? Absolutely. Does it mean the end of the world that one nuclear power plant melted down? No. Any more than the Chernobyl meltdown ended the world. Does it damage the world? Absolutely.
Yeah, well,
is it a bad thing? Absolutely. But it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not the end. But I tell you, I've read reports what it's going to do to, sea life when this water gets dumped in it. It's going to kill off a lot of it, or it's going to cause real weird things to happen, like cancerous growth on sea life, where you don't want to go out and buy salmon, or you don't want to go buy cod.
Right. It's going to affect our ecosphere adversely. There's no doubt, and I'm not trying to denigrate or belittle that effect. But what I am saying is we detonated 100 megaton hydrogen bombs in the middle of the ocean, below the ocean, on the surface of the ocean. And we finally decided that it was not good for the atmosphere for the fallout. But God only knows what it did in those oceans to fish and things that